Thank you very much, Lilia. You were so special. Thank you for those very kind words. And someone should say some words in Spanish today, don't you think so? Nada más unas breves palabras para decirles que estamos encantados de tenerlos aquí, que siempre lucen ustedes guapísimos y guapísimas, pero que hoy se ven aún mejor en este hermoso Salón de las Américas, que tanto simbolismo tiene para nuestros pueblos. Muchas gracias, señor secretario, por habernos alojado hoy acá. El gran problema es que vamos a seguírselo pidiendo de aquí en adelante. Y muchas gracias al presidente Arévalo, no solamente por acompañarnos, sino por esa inspiración que ha venido a revivir los ímpetus de nuestros pueblos en defensa de la democracia. Es un gran ejemplo, es una gran inspiración. Y por supuesto a todos ustedes, querida presidenta y CEO del Diálogo Interamericano, mi querido colega Tom Shannon, y a quienes hoy estamos honrando, Yamila y Jaime. Amigos, todos, in just a couple of weeks, many of us will be celebrating Thanksgiving. We do this either because we grew up with that tradition, because we were invited by friends to their homes, or simply because we appreciate the meaning behind it. Having had the honor of being part of this gala for several years now, I have come to think of this event as a resembling of Thanksgiving dinner among good friends from our hemisphere, providing us with the opportunity to express gratitude for the land of our birth, to nurture hope for the future of our continent, and to share our common concerns about its challenges. It also offers us a platform for reflecting on our shared responsibility to uphold and defend the ideals of peace, democracy, and freedom, both within and beyond our borders. In a world where conflicts and violence are bringing suffering to thousands, it is essential for the Americas to work together, providing humanitarian aid to those in need and offering unified diplomatic support to de-escalate conflicts and advocate for enduring peaceful solutions. We are living in turbulent times, yet even in the darkest hours, it is possible to spot the brightest actions of the people who are working to make this world a better place. These individuals have always been among us, whether they are fighting poverty, combating corruption, supporting children's education, empowering women, protecting the environment, mediating in conflicts, or defending the sanctity of their ballots on the streets. Our region has a rich history of remarkable people, and their actions deserve recognition and celebration. More importantly, their actions must be supported and serve as examples for others to follow. On behalf of the Inter-American Dialogue, I have the honor to present the Distinguished Leadership for the Americas Award for Migrant Empowerment and Inclusive Communities to one of these prominent citizens of our continent, Jaime Pumarejo, Mayor of Barranquilla. Jaime's work. I'm just starting, Jaime. Jaime's work centers on aspects of our daily lives that requires much more attention and investment from organizations, businesses, and governments. Our coexistence. Coexistence refers not only to our interaction with people from our own country or abroad, but also with the ecosystems around us. In a time when polarization, populism, an increased sense of insularity are eroding the social fabrics of our communities, often leading to discrimination and violence, and as the frequency of natural disasters increases due to climate change, Jaime's work provides a clear path to action. Querido Jaime, much like an early Thanksgiving dinner, we seize this opportunity to thank you for illuminating this path for us and for future generations. With all of our hearts, we sincerely hope that the vision you hold, the Arcadia of your dreams, can one day transform into reality not only in Barranquilla, but also in cities across Colombia, as well as throughout the Americas. Beauty and meaning are two sides of the same coin. Working on the aesthetics, sustainability, and well-being of our cities is, in fact, working on our coexistence, which ultimately underpins the democratic ideals we profoundly cherish. So, dear friends, please accompany me with an applause to invite Jaime to the stage.
I think the award is being or hearing such incredible words come out of a leader like Laura that had reshaped a nation, but also a hemisphere. So I am very humbled that somebody of that caliber and stature, who I have looked up to for so long, can speak my name and hand me an award. That's truly amazing for me. Rebecca, thank you for hosting this event, for being a beacon of optimism to the people that think that we can do better when we work together and when we understand each other and find empathy in places where it sometimes is hard to find. So thank you for all the work that you and your team do, and for bringing us together and for highlighting things that go well and that get done right, and that there is not only problems in our region, but there are solutions, and people like all of you that are here that want to lend a hand. When we started working on migration, I had a lot of thought on it, because when you poll a tricky and conflictive subject like migration, you don't get the answer that you're looking for. And we started to look back at our city. What is Barranquilla? Most of you are probably Googling it right now. But Barranquilla is a city of around 2 million people that was never founded. Nobody put up a flag and said, I will declare this the territory of Barranquilla, where I will find and look for spoils. It was a place that happened. It happened because people congregated there on the mouth of the river to trade goods, culture, and it happened to exist. First through indigenous people, and then through Spanish, a lot of them with a Jewish background that came fleeing the Spanish Inquisition. Then, in the early 1900s, a lot of Europeans started fleeing impoverished nations and political persecution. A lot of Germans, a lot of Italians, and other nationalities. In the 1940s, a huge influx fleeing the Ottoman Turkish Empire, Syrians, Lebanese, and Palestinians. Then, in the 1980s and 1970s, we started fleeing because of conflict and economic hardship. And we started fleeing to Venezuela, looking for opportunities in the thousands, hundreds of thousands. A couple of years later, we started seeing the other side of that sword once again. And we started seeing every day hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of Venezuelans coming our way. And we didn't understand what we were going to do. We are a middle-income country, highly unequal, and with a lot of poverty. As you know, the budget is never enough. So we started seeing what we had to do. And we started asking ourselves within the municipality what could be done, having a fair and honest dialogue. And we came to an old adage, un adagio, como decimos en Latinoamérica, or how we say in Latin America, of echarle agua a la sopa, which means watering down your soup, because it will not be enough, but it at least will keep us or help us pass the night. And that's what we did. Today, 3 or 4 years after this exodus started, 10.6% of our population is recently arrived in the last 4 years. That's 150,000 new citizens, Venezuelans, that make up part of our population. 20,000 kids that are in our schools. 17,000 of those receive every day a free meal. All of them free education and free healthcare. We don't have a lot, but we're sharing it. And it was hard to convince people that this was going to happen, to tell them that it was going to be harder to find a place in school for their children, and we were going to have to make do. It was hard telling them that their taxes were going to have to be diluted and make way. But in the end, the honest dialogue with our constituents and our people made way for these new Barranquilleros. Today, they are a vibrant part of our community. They are getting the jobs that are needed to prop up and increase the size of our economy. They are being distinguished part of our culture, of our heritage, and they are building with us as everybody that came before us built our beautiful city. So I have a message of hope. It can be done. There is a way. And if we work together and speak honestly, sometimes you even get recognition for it when you didn't think it was possible. So I am humbled today to receive this prize, because when we started doing this, the last thing I thought I would receive was recognition for it. We thought we had to do it. We thought it was a necessity because these people were there, and there was no humanitarian way to send them back. Send them back where? And when you think about the root cause of this, why is there an exodus in Venezuela? Why does migration become a tricky subject in North America, especially in the US? It becomes a tricky subject if you look at the root cause. And the root cause is democracy, or the failure of democracies in our hemisphere. The failure of economic development and opportunity because of lack of trust. Lack of trust, why? Because there is not a solid government or trust in our institutions. So if we look at the causes of, I would say, massive migration, we see not a choice. We see desperation. Nobody crosses the Darien Gap because they want to and maybe lose their life or lose their loved one. They cross it because they have no choice. We need to give them back that choice. We need to convince them that in their country they can live and love and create and follow their dreams. If we do that, migration will not be an obligation. It will be a choice. That is what we need to try and do. We need to try and build a stable hemisphere. So that way, we can build a place where we're not talking about handouts, we're not talking about repression, we're talking about shared wealth and prosperity. It's the same that's happening with migration because of climate change. I'll give you a fun fact to lighten the mood. One Colombian emits around 1.6 tons of CO2 per year. One American emits around 15 tons of CO2 per year. So it's about 10 of us for one of you. I don't know, you take up a lot of room. But in that sense, when we're talking about climate change or climate action, we're seeing that this is also causing migration, and it's going to continue to happen. So we have a choice. Either we address it now and nip it in the bud, or we're going to have a lot more migration. We're going to have a lot more problems at the borders. We're going to have a lot of people with a lot of hardship, and it's going to cost us a lot more money. What can we do? I have a proposition, and it's pretty simple. Why don't we start looking at our hemisphere for job creations? Why don't we start looking at our hemisphere as a place where we can grow, where we can create jobs, where we can invest? And that way, you can give us and help us provide the tools so that we can take care of our own climate adaptation. Most of us are not looking for a handout. We're looking for the opportunity to thrive in democratic and trustworthy countries. So if we start looking at the root cause, we're going to see that these issues that are very near and dear to our heart can start to take care of themselves, not because we have to repress, but because we can give people hope. And that is the message I bring from Barranquilla, a city that we have built on one premise during the last couple of years, and it is this: no importa cómo te llamas o dónde naciste, queremos crear una ciudad donde tú tengas la oportunidad de soñar y de perseguirlos. So that means it doesn't matter where you were born or what your name is. We want to build a city around you that can give you the opportunity to chase your dreams. If we can do that in this hemisphere, we're going to build a better future for all of our children, and a lot of the things that divide us are going to start to go away. Thank you very much, and I'm very honored.